I feel like for some of you, this is the Five of Swords, which indicates some aftermath of a battle. Okay. So I feel like there might have been a very conflictual situation that you dealt with in the month of January. And this is a really good card in the reverse position because it denotes to me that you took a really difficult path in order to achieve an outcome. So this is kind of like that bittersweet, victory where you didn't compromise your values, you didn't compromise your beliefs, you didn't sell yourself out in order to achieve an easier victory. I feel like a lot of you stuck by your guns, you kept your own, you held on to your values and you held on to it. And I feel like the aftermath of the battle is what we're dealing with, in February. So this is a good victory. It's a swift victory and no one like compromised or sold themselves out in order to get the easy way out. So it's a bittersweet card, but I feel that, a lot of you guys, and this is why I really, really love Virgo and people in general, you make hard decisions, and a lot of the times, like, when you believe in something, you will, fight for it. And you don't really shy away from conflict. And you're the type that, even though the hard choice needs to be made, you do the right thing because it's the right thing. And so I feel like oftentimes the right decisions comes about. People might not agree with you. And so I feel that, even though knowing that people might not agree with you, knowing that people won't be in your lives after you make this decision, you still do it because it's the right thing. So I feel like there was a major, some type of a conflict that might have happened in January and you're coming out victorious. It doesn't feel that way because I feel like it's almost bittersweet. But deep down internally, you did the right thing and you did the best to your capabilities. You didn't sell yourself out. You didn't, you stuck true to your values. And that's really important. Okay. So there was a lot of, I feel there were a lot of things that happened in January and, you're coming away from it and you're moving into a much smoother environment. Okay. What's coming through in terms of your second house, it deals with values and it deals with money. So let me talk about your value system first. This is a card about abundance. This is a card about, restoration, renewal in faith, renewal in trust in ourselves and trusting in our intuition. So this is a card that indicates a lot of spiritual energy coming through to replenish you after this conflict, after this showdown. And I feel like you held your ground. You didn't compromise. And I feel like you're starting to realize how strong you are. So coming in for this month, it's a kind of like telling you, it's confirmation that you're on the right track. It's also telling you that you're going to achieve a lot of emotional abundance for this month. In terms of your money system, what we have here is a lot of abundance as well, things overflowing. And I feel like a lot of you are coming into like having disposable income. And I feel like for Virgo and people in general, money is nice, money is great, but I feel like you see it, you're starting to see it as a means to an end. So I feel like if you have been very frugal in the past, you are giving yourself a lot more leeway. So this means, investing in your diet, investing in, I almost want to say like emotional spending in order to make yourself feel good, but you're doing it within good reason. You're not like squandering your wealth or your hard-earned money. You're buying things for yourself that you feel you deserve. Okay. I see a lot of people decorating the house, like buying new furniture, buying new things like artwork and stuff that they're putting on the, on wall. So a lot of redecorating and a lot of like buying supplies or buying things that are not necessary, but that might be pretty, that you might have an emotional bond with, even a pet, I'm sensing for many of you. So this is a very good card overall in your second house, okay? The third house deals with communication and it deals with siblings. The way that you communicate with other people for this month is going to be a little bit more detached, but it's still done in a very rational manner. I feel like this is like the no BS type of a card. This is somebody who's kind of, They can interact with somebody for 5 minutes and they can see right through the other person. So I feel like your energy is very sharp. It's very clear. It's very directed. So when you communicate with people, their intentions are going to become transparent to you. You're going to know what people mean. You're going to know what people intend. You're going to understand people's motives. And I feel like there's very strong insight and psychic energies that allows you to do this. So this is a really good month overall for contract negotiations, negotiating your salary, negotiating pay raises, and doing something that requires a lot of concentration, a lot of objectivity. This is a really good month for you to get like, tedious, tedious tasks done, and for you to do a lot of research, for you to, basically your mind is very sharp where things are not going to slip you by. Okay. So I do feel that the energy here is greatly conducive for getting things done, things that you have procrastinated on, like things that you have put off because of creative blocks or writer's block, or because you were not in a good position to concentrate. I feel like your mental capacity is going to start to clear up, and you're going to be on top of your A game when it comes to thinking, analyzing, dissecting information, disseminating information, and communicating with other in a way that is very directed. I feel like you're going to be a little bit more emotionally detached, and you're going to be a little bit more analytical of other people and their intentions. So this is great. In terms of your siblings, we have an air sign here. So this is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, sun, moon, or rising. And this is somebody that is, I almost feel like they're emotionally underdeveloped. Okay. So they're really smart. They're very logical and they're very objective. But I feel like you might have somebody like this as a sibling that is coming to you for help, and they're trying to understand something, and they're not able to understand it on an emotional front. So I'm feeling they're having trouble accessing that emotional aspect of themselves. And so I feel like it's gonna require help from your end in order for them to provide that other piece of the puzzle. And I feel almost as if, even though you're talking about emotional things, the way that you both communicate is it's very logical, it's very rational. But I feel that you're going to be able to, I want to say accommodate the other person by changing your communication style in order to fit them, in order to provide a common narrative so that they understand where you're coming from. So there's going to be a lot of heavy communication with family members and especially siblings. And I do sense there's a lot of bouncing off ideas off of each other. There's a lot of, I also feel like just intellectual exchange with another person that will provide opportunities for healing, okay, for healing within the family unit, for healing within your communication. So your mind is really sharp this month, Virgo. You're the one that people are going to come to for advice, for training, for technical information, as well as, expertise in your field. Okay. So just be prepared for that. People will be coming to you, but I feel like you're going to, you need to teach them what they need to know. Don't do the work for them. Okay. Don't get yourself into that cycle. Teach them what they need, give them the technical information so that they can figure things out on their own. You can even lead them there. Just don't do the work for them. So practice a little bit of a detach from other people a little bit so that you can protect your energy and that you don't take on other people's burdens. Okay. The fourth house deals with family, and it deals with the mother as well. But I'm going to talk about your family home because I feel like you're coming into this month very, very independent. Okay. Independent of your childhood upbringing. You're just, you're coming into your own and you're making decisions for yourself. So we have here the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is trying to figure out, amongst the options, what do I do now? Where should I live? What do I want to invest in long term? Do I want another property? Do I want to live in an apartment? Do I want to live in a house? Am I happy with where I am right now? I did mention that I feel a lot of you are going to be redecorating, reorganizing your space, decluttering your space, figuring out what you need to let go of, what you need to sell, or, having a garage sale, or even like, is it worth even doing the garage sale? Should I just donate everything? Donation is going to be really good for you this month. Okay. So try to declutter your environment and weed out the things that you don't need anymore. If you haven't touched them in over like 6 months, you probably don't need them. So just, try to weed out your environment, make donations, because that's always good for, other people that that might need whatever it is that you don't need. So whatever you want to dispose of, try to arrange for some donations, pick up. Okay. This is also a situation where I feel like you are thinking long term as to how long you're going to stay in your present environment, and what type of a home you're hoping to create for yourself. So I feel a lot of you are giving some serious thoughts. There are many directions that you can go, but I feel like you're trying to figure out logically where you are and how the home life is going to match up with where you are professionally. So I do feel long-term planning coming through for many of you. Okay, so which is always a good thing. I'm getting an energy for, in terms of like mother figures and in terms of the childhood home that you grew up in. I feel almost like a mother, they're saying a mother that was very, very distracted. Okay. So she might have had a lot of things that she needed to take care of. She might have also had a lot of responsibilities and also emotional worries, emotional issues. I feel like it's somebody that really suppressed their feelings, and didn't have an outlet. They didn't have like a person to vent to. They didn't have a sounding board, and they didn't have an outlet. So I feel like they kept everything inside, and they're having trouble figuring fact from fiction, like, filtering out fact from fiction. A lot of the times I feel like this card also denotes dementia, memory loss. So you're dealing with somebody in your home environment that might be going through these changes, cognitive like impairments. I feel like memory loss, not being able to recall information. And I feel like you might be living with this person. This person might be your mother, or this person is in your environment somehow. They're very distracted. Okay. The next card here is your fifth house, and the fifth house deals with creativity. It deals with children, and it also deals with how you entertain yourself. I'm sorry. This is the fifth house. So we have here the Hierophant in the reverse position, and the Hierophant in the reverse position basically indicates a situation that is very unorthodox, untraditional, and it's kind of like outside the norm. So I feel like for some of you who are going through life and you have a group of friends that you usually hang out with, basically what it means is that they might be quite eccentric, they might be quite quirky, and they might be like just very different from you. In terms of how you entertain yourself, this is a card about the occult. When it shows up in the upright position, this is a card about order and religion, organized religion. I'm seeing a lot of you are interested in, or, looking into the occult, like mysticism, metaphysical, teachings as well. So astrology, numerology, palmistry, even tarot cards I'm sensing. And even like alternative methods of doing things like spirituality. I feel like this is something that is heavily in your environment. And for some reason, I feel some of you might not be able to talk openly with the people that are in your environment. And even your friends, they might not have the same belief system as you. So you're dealing, first of all, with people that are very, very different from you. And then on top of that, you have this innate fascination with metaphysical, teachings, the occult. And I feel that you need to find an outlet for it, okay? This is something that, if this is something that fascinates you, then definitely find ways to develop it. You know, develop your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, develop your dream state. You know, practicing something related to the occult, I feel would be really beneficial for you for this month. We have some really strong psychic energies coming through. I'm seeing it in this card. I feel like you might have been very busy in the past. So this is a month in which things stabilize just a little bit. And I feel like there's a lot of strong cards here that signify, you know, alternative teachings. That's going to be very good for you. Okay. What I'm also getting as well is I just feel almost like some people are very good friends with their boss. Like they're saying like an authority figure that is turning out to be a very good friend that you might hang out with on a regular basis, or that you might, you know, spend more time with. So they're saying an authority figure. So you might be in a very good, you might have very good like rapport with your superiors. And I feel that you're being included into that circle, but it's not done in a way where, you know, there's still that power struggle or power dynamics. I feel like they're meeting you where you are. Like they're meeting you where you are. There isn't that employer employee type of constraint. So you're going to be able to express yourself openly. Okay. Sixth house deals with your work, your health, and your daily routine. Let's talk about your daily routine. So I feel overall Virgo people like to keep lists, you know, like you have a checklist. You finish something, you check it off, and you move on to the next thing. It helps you keep on track, and it also helps you feel productive. And this is something that I feel a lot of Virgo and people have in their life. Like they just, you know, that's what they do in order to get things done. And when it shows up in the reverse, this is the checklist. When it shows up in the reverse position, it's basically in terms of your daily routine, I almost feel as if you're not going to be inundated with a lot of responsibilities. So the checklist idea, I feel like it's no longer relevant. So I feel like there's going to be changes to your daily routine, but it's not imposed imposed from the external environment. It's coming from within. It's almost like you want to be a little bit more carefree. You want to be a little bit more unconventional, and you want to, like, you know, just, I feel like you have more free time to do whatever it is that you want. So you're not going to hold yourself, make yourself abide by strict rules, strict schedule, or like, you know, go through the checklist when it comes to your daily routine. So there's a lot more leeway. There's a lot more time. So you're not under the time crunch anymore coming through for February. When it comes to your health, be very, very careful. I do see a lot more physical activities that needs to take place. And I feel that you're going to find time to take care of that this month. So you're very good generally about, you know, personal hygiene as well as personal health. Okay. So like exercising, taking care of yourself. I feel like these are things that you're just naturally very good at. And with the little bit of, I feel like, you know, having a lot more free time is going to allow you to take care of this sector of your life. Now, in terms of the work situation, I feel like you're perpetually making progress, but when it shows up in the reverse, I feel like some of you are re-examining your career path, and you're trying to figure out if the work that you're at is still meaningful further down the line in terms of achieving your career. So I feel like you're doing some major reassessment as to, you know, whether or not the career track is still something that you want, or whether or not this job is still going to be required for you to achieve that career that you're looking for. Okay. So I feel like some major changes coming through, but they're all very positive here. Moving on to the seventh house. The seventh house deals with love partnerships as well as business partnerships. So we have here the Seven of Wands. And we have two sevens here, as well as the Hermit card. So I feel like this is a really important month for you guys to really re-examine your relationships. And let me talk about business partnerships first. Business partnerships, I do sense if you're in a business partnership, there is going to be like a conflict of interest, okay? It's almost like not agreeing on the same things, not feeling as if contributions from both parties is fair. And if you're dealing with a partner, this indicates to me a partner that is, um, they're very stubborn. And I feel like, you know, they might be slow to act. They might be prone to procrastination, and they might leave things to the very last minute. And I feel there's going to be a little bit of a butting heads with your significant other or your partner when it comes to getting things done. So I feel on the one hand, you are very, very systematic. You know, do things in a very timely manner, in a very predictable manner. The person that you're dealing with, and you know, of course, opposites attract, right? The person that you're dealing with, they have a tendency to leave things to the very last minute. You might be living with them and you might find out that they're very forgetful, or they might be a little bit messy even. So I feel like there's a conflict of interest here coming through in your relationship sector. And I do sense that, you know, you're not seeing eye to eye on something, and you're defending your values. You're defending the things that you believe is productive. And I feel that they have their own way of doing things. So there's kind of like a little bit of butting heads. It's not severe. It's not severe, but there's still some butting heads. And likewise, in your professional relationships as well, I do feel that you're gonna have some creative differences with another person. Okay, creative differences as to how we decorate the business environment, the office, how we how we transport items. So if you're in the import-export business, you know, which agency do we use to transport items? How far are we willing to shift? Who keeps track of the inventory? Who keeps track of all the items that are coming out? I do see some creative differences.